Hi, everybody. My name is Celeste Divine, and today I just want to share a message that was channeled to me through Spirit last night. And it's funny because I was going to do a video about something completely different. But last night during meditation, this is what I received. So I'm going to share it with you as it was shared with me. So, on this journey of self love and self acceptance, you are going to be faced with different situations that will test your level of self love. When you proclaim something, the universe is going to see how serious you are about what it is that you have proclaimed. So in this instance, it's self-love. When I say I love myself, go on, fruit fly. They trying to get in on this. When I say I love myself unconditionally. The universe gonna be like, oh, you do? You do. And so you are going to encounter situations in which you have to prove that you do, in fact, love yourself unconditionally. Yesterday, I had a situation where an old acquaintance, this guy I used to date, right, contacted me and wanted to meet up with me. And this was somebody from years ago. Like, I'm not even the same person that I was when I was talking to him that I am today. And so, as we were trying to confirm meeting up, he asked me, he said, are you still doing that pagan witchcraft stuff? And I was like, what does that have to do with us meeting, first of all? And second of all, I've never proclaimed to be a pagan or a witch. I am just a woman on a spiritual journey. I'm just a woman trying to find her divinity within myself. That's it. You can call it what you want. But I said, I don't know what the relevance of that question is, but if my spiritual journey or if my spiritual path makes you uncomfortable, we do not have to meet. And he didn't really say yes or no. He texted me some weird ass emoji or some shit. I don't know. But the point was that when you love yourself, you have to be willing to sit alone in that until you find your people who are on the path that you are on. And you have to be okay with that. Because a lot of times we stay in situations that are not even in alignment with us because we are afraid that we will not find the alignment. But when you follow yourself, when you follow your path, when you trust your intuition, when you trust yourself, when you trust the guidance that you are being given, and when you choose to love yourself despite anybody's objection to who you are as an individual, you will align with the right people for you. And so it was in that moment that I had an array of emotions. Because after the conversation and I decided, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and block and delete you because I don't need that type of energy in my life. But I was hurt because it did bring up feelings of not belonging. And it brought me back to childhood, a feeling out of place. The fear of being different, or in the fear of not being accepted for who I am. all of that came up last night and I had to address it. And then after I had addressed those feelings and they came up and I felt them and I shed some tears for it because they did hurt my feelings, I reminded myself, I chose this. And in that moment, I expressed gratitude because I chose to love myself and remove myself from people who will not allow me to be the me that I am, the me that I need to be right now. And so I don't have to fit into your ideologies of what I'm supposed to be like, what I'm supposed to practice, what path I'm supposed to follow, what I'm supposed to be doing, how I'm supposed to act, how I'm supposed to think, how I'm supposed to speak. I don't have to allow anybody outside of me to define who I am. And that shit is self-love. And it's hard. And sometimes it's a lonely road. But when you decide that you are going to love yourself unconditionally, you have to be willing to be in situations where people are like, I don't want to hang with you because I don't like your practice. I don't agree with what you believe in. I don't like the way you dress. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you think. I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way that you always optimistic, or I don't like the way that you always trying to talk about spiritual stuff or teach some shit. I don't want to talk about meditation. I want to talk about love and hip hop. And so for me, I had to be okay with not being in certain spaces anymore because that was out of alignment with who I know I am. And that has taken a long journey to get to because I have always dealt with feelings of not belonging and wanting to belong until I realized that if it means that I could belong as long as I am not myself, as long as I'm never fully me out loud, as long as I don't try to break the mold, I don't be too loud, or I don't question anything, or I just go with the status quo, then that means I can belong. Then I don't want to fit in. I don't want to belong in spaces where I cannot be myself. That's love. Love is the willingness to be alone with me until I align with those who are like me. And so I had to laugh at my feelings of hurt yesterday because I was like, I really had to go into my mind and be like, okay, but just think about when I was at a vendor event a couple weeks ago and the amazing, beautiful people that I connected with and met and chatted with, and they sparked love in me. It was a reflective moment. Even if we didn't even share much of an interaction, I felt the connection. And so the worry of not belonging was funny because I know what it feels like to be in alignment and be around a group of people who do make me feel okay for being who I am and how I am. And so if you are not in a space where you feel like you could be you, the best version of you, the most authentic version of you, if you're around people who don't get your jokes, you need to be telling them jokes to different people. You need to get around a different crowd. Why is my nose running? And you need to do so fearlessly. And you need to not be afraid of being alone while you find your people. Because in the aloneness, you cultivate who you are. And then when you know this is who I am, you can bring that person out into the world with full force and confidence. So that when you do meet people who try to tell you that they don't like the way that you are authentically, I want you to be different. You love yourself enough to be like, well, I don't need you. I don't need you in my life. So that's where I was today. This is way left from, it's not too far left, but this is not what I was going to talk about today. I was going to talk about fear, but I guess this ties in one way or another in releasing the fear of needing to be accepted, to needing from releasing the fear of needing to be validated by other people when I can validate myself. I don't need nobody to validate me because I was valid when I got here. My existence makes me valid. I don't need your confirmation. I was confirmed when I got here. I am a whole being upon arrival. I am enough right now because I'm here right now as is, and you don't have to accept it. And if you don't like me, don't try to fucking be around me. Hey, the wind said yes, because she was out there winning. If you don't like me, if you don't want to accept me, you don't have to. But I also don't have to be around you. I don't have to allow you to beat me up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, because you were threatened by my existence of choosing to be myself. And I'm not going to apologize ever for being myself. So, don't you dare apologize either. And at the basis of even what Finds by Divine is growing into is really about self-acceptance. And recognizing that it's okay to leave when those are not your people. But when you are with me, you will always be accepted. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm not here to tell you that you are not allowed to be the way you are. I accept you just as you are. And if we resonate, if we vibrate on the same frequency, I am so grateful for that. And I share love with you. And if we don't resonate and vibrate at the same frequency, I share love with you. And I accept you. And I wish you nothing but alignment with your people, even if it's not with me, because I understand that everybody's not going to align with me, and that's okay. And I want people to know that there is a space for you. And if you don't feel like there is a space for you, then you need to be fearless enough to create the space. And so that's what I did. I created a space for me to exist in a state of unconditional love. That's what Finds by Divine is. It's a space for me to find myself, and it's a space for me to find my people. And so this is really a what do they call it? Like a call, a shout out. Where my people at? Where's my people? The people who want to love themselves, the people who want to be themselves, the people who want to be themselves out loud, unapologetically, without compromise. Because we shouldn't have to compromise on just who we are at our core. We shouldn't have to change who we are and who we've always been, as long as we are not hurting anybody and we're not hurting ourselves. And when I say as you are and as you've been, that does not mean that you stay stagnant and you don't grow. It means that you take what you were born with and you cultivate it into the greatest version of what it was supposed to be. That's like saying a seed should stay a seed when it was meant to be a tree. That, you know what I'm saying? So if you started as a seed, what we are here to do is cultivate those seeds and grow them into trees of beauty, of abundance, of happiness, of joy, of peace and harmony and love. That's what we're here to do. And so if there is no space for you, you create the space for you to love. And you have to do so first by removing yourself out of the spaces that are not conducive to you loving, to you growing, and to you being you out loud authentically. And so that was my message. I know that was a little bit all over the place. And if you stayed this far, thank you. Because I genuinely want every person that I interact with to walk away feeling empowered, feeling loved. I want you to walk away from me and everything that I create with your chest out. You know what I'm saying? With confidence. with feeling warm and cozy and home and welcomed and loved and peace. That's who I am. And I know sometimes that message from me is not always received well, or people try and throw their preconceived notions on me. So hopefully that does not happen. And if it does, it is what it is. I am still going to be creating space for those who are ready to align with who they are supposed to be. Because I am. And I hope that you are too. So thank you so much for joining me on this chat. It was a little bit of a rant. And yeah, like, comment, please comment. I really want to interact. And subscribe. I will be posting new videos. For now, it'll probably be about once a week. New videos. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for tuning into this video. I love you so much. And I will see you guys on the next one.